Jeep starting lineups. And for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a lineup they've run out there the last few games. But for the Northwestern Wildcats, they look a little bit different, of course, with Boo Buie out of the lineup with that stress fracture in his.
Intriguing to me, so I'm really going to be watching his development.
The Wildcats come into this one having lost 5 straight, and the Nebraska Cornhuskers 2-2 now in conference play and trying to move to 3-2, which would match their best start in 5 games in Big Ten play. Miller Kopp gets the scoring going.
It wasn't ironic that we didn't mention Miller Kopp in the open because we knew that he was going to get going early and often. Nice curl there. Northwestern runs a lot of pro sets to get guys shots. Miller Kopp is a beneficiary there.
Miller Kopp leading the Wildcats with 10 double-figure scoring games so far this season. Mack feeding underneath, and in traffic, that shot won't go. Second chance opportunity, no, and there's Nance to come down to the rebound.
Yeah, but you saw Mack get to the teeth of that defense. He does that extremely well.
Pat Spencer for 3, and the rebound comes to Ivan Udraogo. And now Burke for Nebraska.
We'll see both teams play some zone defense. Nebraska's zone defense was outstanding in the last game in beating Iowa.
There's Deshaun Burke knocking down the jumper. One of just a couple of guys that was on Nebraska last year and is still a member of the Cornhuskers.
Deshaun Burke is a guy that is a streaky shooter, can really manufacture points, and that's a great sign for the Huskers early.
Ryan Young in the post trying to pass it out. It's stolen by Haneem Cheatham. Running the floor. Can't get it to go in traffic.
Wow, his teammates have to run with him that time. He put a lot of pressure on the D. His offensive rebound opportunity had his teammates netted.
Miller Kopp, a runner from the baseline off target. And so far, the pace favoring the Cornhuskers here early. They want to run it. Here's Cheatham for 3 from the wing. And the rebound to Spencer.
So we've seen a couple games early in the day, Jordan, where the offense didn't come as naturally for teams. Illinois Rutgers had a rock fight. Penn State struggled to score early as well.
Maybe they'll buck the trend in this one.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. Here's Cheatham to the rack.
Man. Beautiful move. I thought Cheatham was going to go ahead and dunk that, but Nebraska wants to push every single time.
Haneem Cheatham, the senior who transferred from Marquette, Florida Gulf Coast. This is his 3rd collegiate stop. Leading the Cornhuskers in scoring. Ryan Young in open 3, and that one won't fall. Nance has it taken away by Burke.
Well, Nebraska gets this tempo like the way they like it. They just kind of flow into shots like that.
And there it is. Deshaun Burke now over 1,000 career points as he knocks down the triple.
Congratulations to that young man right there. You hear 1,000 points, Jordan, but that's not easy to do. That's putting the ball in the hole there.
And Nebraska has a few of those guys, but of course most of the points did not come as members of the Cornhuskers. Now a foul coming up.
Deshaun Burke stepping into a nice 3-point shot. Get his Huskers going.
There's Fred Hoiberg in his first season as the Nebraska head coach. Gets hired in April, and then they say, hey, can you put a roster together in about 4 weeks?
And he did.
And he did.
And, you know, I think that Big Ten fans better be prepared to see a similar build like he did at Iowa State.
Pat Spencer, the miss underneath. Comes out to Ryan Young between 2 defenders, but can't get the roll.
I like Ryan Young. He plays hard. He knows his game.
Burke with the heat check 3, no. A.J. Turner diving for it on the floor. And a jump ball is called. It'll go back to Nebraska. Chris Collins, the head coach at Northwestern. Amazing, Stephen. He's been there 7 years now.
I know, it's crazy, right? And he's done a really good job. I know he's had a lot of injuries, a lot of up and down. It was tough for Northwestern. They weren't able to capitalize on that tournament run because they had to go to All-State Arena. Do they still call it All-State?
I think so.
They changed it?
I don't know. All these arenas are changing.
Yeah, I know. But they had to go to All-State Arena, and you know, they didn't have a home court advantage. So they lost some of that that momentum that they got going to the tournament. But he's trying to resurrect that in this beautiful building.
Fastest Northwestern coach to 100 wins, now 106 in his career here in Evanston.
Watch Mack get north-south. He does not go east-west.
Trying to do it against Turner. With 3 to shoot, can't get it to fall. Rebound and Ants. Pat Spencer running the floor, lays it in.
Pat Spencer, I tell you, he's a sneaky athlete. Great lacrosse player, like everyone has heard. He dunked going baseline at Indiana, kind of surprised everybody.
I think what Pat Spencer's been able to do, having not played basketball for 4 years and now coming here and playing in the Big Ten, 4th on the team in scoring, it's amazing.
Yeah, now, he wasn't playing organized ball, but he was playing in the summer leagues on the East Coast.
That's true.
And you know, he definitely got a little bit of run. But no, I know your point there, Jordan, and it's well said.
So now a foul coming. That'll go against Cam Mack, and it brings us to a timeout here in Evanston.
Yeah, neither team is shooting particularly well, but you know what, Jordan? I just like we got some offense because it's been Rock Fight Saturday so far in the Big Ten.
Be a new sponsorship for BTN. Rock Fight Saturday. There you go, Pete Nance underneath. That looks smooth. And the first bucket of the game for the sophomore from Akron.
Now, see, he didn't settle that time. He used his height, he used his athleticism, get to the rim, and finish. Now you got confidence. You can extend.
There's Mack on the drive off the window.
Woo, quick as a hiccup, Cam Mack, with a little hesitation. And before anybody could respond, he was at the rim.
Cam Mack a double-double last time out against Iowa, 15 points and 10 assists. And has quickly emerged as one of the better players in the Big Ten. Pat Spencer knocking down the 3.
I like Pat Spencer, and he's got to look for his shot with Boo Buie out, Anthony Gaines out for the year. You need somebody to step up and take shots. A.J. Turner did it a little bit last game at Indiana. Pat Spencer is not shy.
There's Burke, a step-back jumper off target, the rebound Turner. You mentioned it, though, the fact that you have these injuries, and now you're putting a lot on the plate of the Pat Spencer. If you're Northwestern, not a necessity.
Yes, you are. But here's the thing. Pat Spencer, like, won the Heisman of lacrosse players. Am I right?
Yeah, the Tewaaraton Trophy.
And so he's got an enormous amount of confidence that he can transition over to the court.
Here's Burke on the drive, too strong, and now a foul on the floor.
Yeah, we talked about this in the open, that Pete Nance needs to get to the rim and use that length. He's got Thor Bjarnason guarding him. He took advantage of that. Mack, you see that hesitation and blow by? I mean, that's Olympic speed right there.
And now the inbound comes into Mack for Nebraska. Trying to split the defense, and it's knocked away by Northwestern. A.J. Turner, no. Jared Jones, no. And Pete Nance on the 3rd try.
I tell you what, this Northwestern team may be banged up, but they've got some size. Barron 6'9", Nance 6'10".
Tallest team in the Big Ten this year. There's a 3-try off target from Kevin Cross. And with Boo Buie out, they're starting 3 bigs.
Yep.
Taking advantage of that height.
That's right. And Jared Jones had good minutes at Indiana. He only scored 2 points, but he was aggressive and played well on the defensive end.
Spencer on the wing for 3. Pat Spencer with 8 points here early for the Wildcats.
Boy, nice response by the Cats. Nebraska came in here, first TV timeout. They were feeling pretty good, but Northwestern has responded very well here.
10-2 run for the Wildcats. Here's Thor Bjarnason for 3 to end the run.
And Nebraska needs to make a T-shirt with Thor with the hammer, the big hammer, and put his picture on it, man. He has been playing outstanding basketball here last 3 games from Nebraska.
The junior from Iceland has really made a big jump this season. One of the 2 guys back from last season. A.J. Turner buries a triple.
See, it's interesting. If you're Northwestern, you've got guys in A.J. Turner and Pat Spencer that know they're not coming off the floor. So that gives you a lot of confidence. Go ahead and let that shot run. Nice job by Turner.
Cross underneath against 2 defenders, no. In the corner, Thor Bjarnason, that's too strong, the rebound Nance. Miller Kopp. Short on that triple try. And the rebound comes to Cam Mack.
I didn't like that shot. And you're going to hear me talk a lot about the over-reliance on the three-point shot in basketball in general. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson have ruined the game.
Not enough inside play for you?
Well, think about this, Jordan. The Big Ten has the best collection of bigs in the country, and everybody's still shooting threes. What sense does that make?
So far in this one, Northwestern 3 of 6 and Nebraska 2 of 5 from deep. And now Cheatham a try, and he knocks it down from deep.
Nice job there by Easley, the newly minted scholarship player from Nebraska. Congratulations to him.
Yeah, that's right. Got his scholarship yesterday in an announcement from Fred Hoiberg. How cool for him.
Oh, man.
And now off the steal, here comes Cheatham against Nance and draws the foul on Pete.
I tell you what,
this one is Benny Cheatham will go to the free throw line for the Huskers.
So I do my thing on social media sometimes, Jordan. I was trying to tell people, make sure you tune into this game. I knew this was going to be competitive. Nebraska's coming in off of a win. Northwestern was up at Indiana by 7 late in that game and just could not close out. Both of these teams coming in here playing well, and we've got some offense.
We've certainly seen some offense. Northwestern 6 of its last 9 from the field after starting 1 out of 7. Robbie Barron continues the trend, and he knocks down the 3.
I'm telling you, man, if he continues to improve, he's going to be one of the better players in the Big Ten before it's all said and done. I've seen him post up. I've seen him put it on the deck. He obviously can shoot the 3. If he gets stronger, he'll be a much improved rebounder.
He's definitely a player to watch. I think he could be a lot of fun, too. Underneath, there's Easley off a nice pass. Charlie Easley gets a scholarship, gets a bucket.
And Kevin Cross, I'm telling you, he is a multi-skilled guy at 6'8". Just the type of player that Fred Hoiberg loves. It's an excellent pass.
Been the first off the bench for Fred Hoiberg in his rotation. Tries to figure this thing out with all these new guys. Turner, the long jumper, no. And Barron muscles through 2 players to grab it. Fresh 20 for the Wildcats to work with.
We know that Nebraska's rebounding is not one of their strengths. Northwestern's trying to take advantage of that.
Here's Turner on the wing. Carries a 3. Northwestern is feeling it from long range.
It's good to be home, isn't it? I mean, seriously. In the Big Ten, we'll get into it a little bit later, but these road wins are so difficult. Just ask Maryland.
Yep. Absolutely. There's Cross. He misses a 3. Back the other way comes Northwestern. Home cooking certainly helps, and the Wildcats now 5 out of 8 from distance. Pat Spencer just inside the line with a long 2.
See, what's wrong with that? That's the mid-range game. Long 2, defense sags back, he steps up and knocks it down. Now the confidence and the momentum continues.
And there's the old 3-point line.
That's right.
He was just going for a throwback right there.
There you go. Well, nice job. The cross-court skip pass, then the extra pass to A.J. Turner, who really has been struggling with his 3-point shot this season, but not today.
So far, road teams 5 and 29 in Big Ten play this season. As Mate Kavas knocks down the free throw. And that's why Fred Hoiberg said before this game he knew this would be a tough game playing here, especially with the fact that Northwestern is looking for its first win in conference play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And then, there's some juice in the building. We got a nice crowd here, and Northwestern has been playing well, but I want to go back a little bit, Jordan. There are 5 road wins. You saw that Wisconsin has 2 of them. Nobody would have expected the Badgers to have 2 conference wins the way that they were playing early in the season.
Robbie Barron drills a 3. He's got 2 triples in the last few minutes. And the Wildcats now up 9. As that one will not fall, but a foul. A.J. Turner going to get called for the personal.
Well, Northwestern, I tell you what, I know they read the scouting report, but A.J. Turner's feeling good about it, and you want your seniors to step up in this scenario. When you're trying to get that first win, your upperclassmen got to step up.
Tomorrow on BTN, Xavier Simpson leads 19th-ranked Michigan to the barn for a clash with Daniel Oturu and Minnesota. Big Ten basketball presented by Jeep tomorrow, 1 Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app. That should be a good one to watch, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that Purdue-Michigan game earlier this week, double overtime. Travion Williams, it's unfortunate, 36 and 20 in a loss, but, boy, he was fantastic, as was Xavier Simpson in the first and second overtime.
He's developed so nicely, become a real nice player for Purdue. There's a travel by Ryan Greer. You were talking about A.J. Turner before, though. Chris Collins saying before the game today that he felt like for the Wildcats to win, especially with a couple of guards down, he needs A.J. Turner to make an impact in this game and going forward, and already 6 points.
And the thing is, I mean, A.J. had really good numbers at Boston College, so he's done it at the ACC level. You know, it's just a lack of confidence, in my opinion, because the skill set is there, the athleticism is there, the size is there.
Here's Barron off on that 3 try, made his first 2. Ross on the drive. Barron swats it away. And it brings us to a timeout on the floor.
It's turnover, but here's the thing. Nebraska's got 2 conference wins already. And so, you know, both these teams are very competitive regardless of their lack of experience.
And if Nebraska could win on the road today, they'd be in the top half of the conference through 5 games. And a long rebound, Nebraska keeps possession. Mack trying to throw underneath. It's taken away by Miller Kopp. A.J. Turner off on the 3 try. Northwestern will keep it with Barron, who muscles it up there, but it's short.
I'm okay with that. Barron is playing hard, man, coming up with extra opportunities.
Taking advantage of his chance to get even more playing time, the freshman from Richmond, Virginia.
You're going to hear me mention his name a lot. I'm telling you, his skill set and his size lend him being one of the better players in this conference before it's all said and done. He's going to get stronger. He can stretch the floor. He doesn't mind mixing it up in the paint. I've seen him put it on the deck. Everything that you need a player to do, he has the ability to do that.
I think he's one of the faces of that next wave for Chris Collins.
Agreed. Look at that.
Beautiful move from Barron.
I'm telling you, man, when he gets more confidence, he's going to be a problem for opposing teams.
Barron already with 8 first-half points. Had 8 last time out. And a season-best 9 before that is Nance swats one away.
Let's go right back to Pete Nance. Give him a touch. Let the big fella eat.
And there it is. Nance for 3. Too strong.
Pretty good look, though. Top of the key. Northwestern gets some really good looks against Nebraska's D.
Nebraska needs a bucket. They've not scored almost 4 minutes as that one's knocked out of bounds.
You know, watch Robbie Barron here. Sizes up Udrak. Well, let me try it again. Ivan defensively,
yeah.
And goes with his left hand off the glass. Nice move by Barron.
Ivan Udraogo.
Udraogo. There you go.
It's a name that I had to practice about 200 times before we hit the air.
I'm going to continue to practice it so I get it right.
I might be saying it for days afterwards.
I've heard it pronounced a couple different ways, but I like the way you're saying it.
This is what I'm going with. Here's Cheatham underneath. And that one off the side of the rim.
I think Cheatham's got to finish that. You're on the road down double digits, man. You got to have those opportunities.
And Nance is down low, but Udraogo called for the blocking foul. Well, tomorrow on BTN, it's a triple header of women's hoops. The Gophers and the Illini will start things off, followed by the 12th-ranked Hoosiers versus the Hawkeyes. And then the Wildcats meet the Boilers in the nightcap tomorrow at 3 Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
The Hawkeyes got a nice win over Maryland earlier this week.
Sure did, and should be a good day of women's basketball action. Iowa just does not lose at home, and Pat Spencer.
His guys, they need to tighten up much better on the defensive end. Their offense hasn't been poor, but defensively, they've not been very good.
Fred Hoiberg back in Chicago, where, of course, before he was the head coach of the Huskers, was the coach of the Chicago Bulls. And there's a travel on Cam Mack. Armand Gates back as well on the coaching staff. There you see Armand next to Fred. Armand, of course, formerly of Chris Collins' staff here at Northwestern.
Armand's a great guy, a great basketball mind, and he will be the next assistant in the Big Ten, or one of the next assistants to get a head coaching job.
Jones underneath. No, Nance pinballs it back in.
Man, Northwestern is really dominant here in the first half.
15-point lead for the Wildcats.
And remember now, they were up double digits at Indiana in the second half, so this is not a surprise.
Burke, no. Rebound Nance.
Tallest team in the Big Ten starting to pay off dividends at the rim. Nebraska's missed a few bunnies there.
Another long jumper. No from Spencer. Yes for Jones. And the freshman, Jared Jones, cousin of Boo Buie, trying to make up for his absence.
That must be nice to play with a cousin in college, man, at this level. Are you kidding?
And a 16-1 run comes to an end as Cross knocks it down from deep.
Yeah, I didn't know if we were going to have a repeat of that 30-point run that you covered last night, Jordan, with Northern Kentucky and UIC.
Yeah.
Something I've never seen in person. That had to be something.
That was a first for me. Can't say that you see a 30-0 run very often. That's why we do it, right? NCAA tournament team for Northwestern, and now at Nebraska. The previous coaching staff and now the new one. There's a steal from Burke, and he runs in for the slam.
Boy, did Nebraska need that. Great job shooting the gap, going home hard at the rim, making sure that the defense didn't have a chance to challenge.
It was a 16-4 run for Northwestern, but Deshaun Burke just said, we've got some life. And there's Burke with a steal. Cheatham thought about the three, now takes it, and he's short.
Oh, man, I need Cheatham. You got to cut loose on the first opportunity. You study long, you study wrong. Got to let it fly. If you don't let it fly on the catch, Jordan, and you put it on the deck, get it to another teammate.
I like that. You study long, you study wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's an old school saying. Well, cool school, because I ain't old.
That's right.
It's cool school saying. How about that?
Agreed. 5 to shoot. Nance with 2. And Mack gets the rebound.
Why did he shoot that left hand? I'm a little puzzled by that.
Bjarnarsson now on the drive and kick. Mack tried to go cross court. Nance knocks it down.
Well, Deshaun Burke recognized that his team needed a good play. He knew Pat Spencer was in pursuit, but he didn't give him a chance. Nice job by Burke. And the flush. And he ran past us looking at us like, hey, I just did something. I see you, young fella.
Bjarnarsson way downtown, misses the 3. Coming up at the half, the State Farm halftime report. Dave Revson and Mike DeCourcy. Get you caught up on a busy day in Big Ten hoops.
Well, Dave and Mike, I'll see you tomorrow. We have a great time in studio. And so glad that Mike DeCourcy is doing the bracketology. Somebody that actually knows what he's talking about.
There's a 3 from Miller Kopp. 5 points now for Miller Kopp today.
Now it's interesting. Bjarnarsson had a 3 opportunity that could have cut this lead in single digits. Would have been a huge look from Nebraska. He misses. Northwestern comes back and scores and extends the lead to 15. That's a big play in this game. Really good skip pass right there. Deshaun Burke was going for the steal. See, that's the problem. When you go for a steal, you don't come up with it. You leave your teammates naked on the backside.
Now the real question is, does Hanif Cheatham get a hockey assist since he tipped that ball?
Yeah.
He gets a point in the score sheet, right?
Yeah, and they need everything they can get right now.
They do, trailing by 15.
Northwestern has been outstanding this first half. That's just not the shot you want.
Burke off on that three.
Again, I know these guys have aspirations of playing the NBA, but those guys are at the NBA for a reason.
If they can shoot it like that.
That's right.
Miller Kopp getting hot. Now he's got a...
It's a mark of a good team in Northwestern. They recognize that they've got an opportunity here. Keep putting the pedal to the metal. Extend the lead going into halftime.
6 straight points for Northwestern, and that run ended by Cross, who gets the roll.
Well, Cross has been great from Nebraska. One of the few bright spots this first half.
Cheatham on the steal and the drive. Knocked out of bounds by Turner.
Well, Chris Collins is hot. He is really upset with his team right now. Not taking better care of the basketball.
The Wildcats 7 turnovers in the first half as compared to Nebraska's 3, but everything else has been going the Wildcats' way.
This zone from Northwestern, the length is really bothering Nebraska.
And now Spencer pulls up. Too short. And the rebound to Nebraska with the shot clock off.
That's one of the toughest shots in the game that Spencer attempted right there. On the move, about 8 feet straight on in, Jordan. Very difficult to make.
And now Nebraska just slowing it down. They want the last shot of the half.
He waited too long. He waited too long.
4 seconds, 3, Mack, 2, 1, puts up the triple, and it's way short. And Northwestern will take a 15-point lead into the locker room at halftime. Great half. What do you think Fred Hoiberg's message was to his team?
Play a little bit better defense. They really struggled on the defensive end. I thought they took some quick, ill-advised shots on the offensive end. Got to have better balance.
Miller Kopp trying to start where the Wildcats left off at the end of the first half, but can't hit the three, and Cam Mack racing down the floor to draw the foul.
That's a tough break for Northwestern right there. It looked like Mack was going into a shooting motion when that foul was called.
Pat Spencer called for his second personal foul.
If you're Northwestern, you got to expect Nebraska to come out and with a little push or a little run, cut to this lead a little bit. Don't panic. Just stay with the program.
And that one will fall for Ouedraogo. And Ivan with his first bucket of the game.
Nice job by Nebraska establishing Ivan in the post, not relying on the three.
Ouedraogo, one of the youngest players in the country, just 17 years old. And Miller Kopp buries the triple, and he's got 11 points now.
Well, I tell you what, man, when that three drops, everything else looks good, doesn't it?
Sure does. Northwestern shooting 56% from beyond the arc. Thorbjarnarson tries to answer no. Ouedraogo the rebound and rips it out. And now Deshaun Burke navigating the paint. The miss. Ouedraogo lays it in.
Ouedraogo, nice job in that possession a couple times, keeping possession in the hands of Nebraska. They need those second chance opportunities, cut into this double-digit lead.
Spencer underneath. That one hit away by Burke. Mack, the feed to Cheatham.
I tell you what, you got a point guard with Cam Mack. All you have to do is run and keep your eyes open because he will find you if you're open. Nice job by Nebraska in the tempo here.
Definitely trying to establish that pace to start the second half. Spencer on the move, off the window.
Wow, that was bully ball right there. He just put his shoulder into Thor's chest. Creates the space in the finish.
Spencer with 14, leading the Wildcats. Ouedraogo over Young, no, and scraps it.
That size is really bothering Ivan on those finishes and his teammates. We've seen Nebraska point-blank range 6 or 7 times. They just cannot complete.
Nance, nice pass to Barron, but he traveled.
Nice job by Thor on the flash, wrap-around pass. Raul go, nice finish. And then Mack with the speed. Underneath Cheatham, behind the defense.
Mack trying to set up the offense. Skip pass. Out in the corner, Mack for 3. And the rebound to Kopp.
If Cheatham just throws that pass without the hesitation, if he caught it and just swung it, I believe Mack would have got in better rhythm on that three-point shot attempt. Got to cut loose sometimes.
And a carry on Northwestern, a turnover to Nebraska. And it's really amazing when you think about Nebraska, 2-2 in the league so far, given all the turnover. How long do you think it normally takes for a team? I mean, obviously this is a unique situation as Mack lays that one in, but to try to get your system implemented when everyone on the team is new.
That's tough. And, you know, Fred has the benefit of having 2 very veteran coaches on the bench. Besides Armand Gates, you're talking about Doc Sadler and Bobby Lutz. I mean, those 2 guys between them have probably 60 years of coaching under their belt. So Fred Hoiberg's got some really smart minds on that bench. They've been patient with this group.
Mack underneath for Cheatham. Gorgeous pass.
Here comes Nebraska. They were selling for outside shots a lot against that zone. And when Cam Mack, you heard me say it before, he does not go east-west, he goes north-south. When he gets into that paint, he puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Now it's a 10-point game. Here's Kopp around the curl, the 3-try no. Burke. Barron grabs the rebound.
Boy, that hurt Nebraska right there. You get inside of that double-digit deficit, it really gives you a psychological boost.
Coaches always say that first 5 minutes of the half, right?
Yep, most important juncture of the game.
So far, Nebraska has cut into the deficit. Nance trying to change it, misses the 3.
See, the issue when you have a good three-point shooting first half, you still try to rely on it in the second. And the ability to knock down threes comes and goes throughout a game. Right now, Northwestern's starting to cool off. They need to utilize their size better. Oh, what a play.
What a finish from Thorbjarnarson. Got a hot pass from there from Mack, and somehow able to throw it up and in.
This is where the Welsh Ryan Arena needs to get into the game. They've got to give their team a little bit of energy here. Nebraska on an impressive run.
A.J. Turner, the spin and the finish.
Wow, Turner ran into Nance. They're still able to finish. That's impressive there.
And back to a 10-point lead for the Wildcats. Mack sets it up.
Oh, my goodness.
On the drive, no. Nance will slow it down as Spencer comes across.
Boy, Mack's hesitation is as good as any in the league.
Turner well short on the 3, and it pinballs out to Thorbjarnarson.
Fred Hoiberg is going to have to look at Mack right now. He is sucking wind.
And Burke, no. And now a push coming up. And it's going to go the other way when we come back.
Thorbjarnarson right here. Tip your hat to the Illini. Find themselves second in the Big Ten. Brad Underwood's done a really good job of adjusting their defense. One of the better defensive teams in college basketball.
Ryan Young underneath. Can't get that one to fall. Cross comes out with it. And now Cheatham feeding underneath, but a foul and an offensive foul against Nebraska. Standings in the Big Ten Conference right now. Of course, Michigan State at the top, but Illinois now in second place.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. And even with the loss, Rutgers is right there as well. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of this, a lot of log jams throughout the conference play. I think Ohio State will rebound at some point. They'll get better. And it's every night. There's no breaks whatsoever.
Take a look at the standings, and you see ranked teams at the bottom of standings. Means you have a good conference.
That's right. Means that Big Ten could possibly get 8 to 9 teams into the big dance this year.
I agree. Here's Barron from the elbow. That's swatted away by Cam Mack.
You're talking about an athlete.
Splits the defense, kicks it, cross wide open for three, but can't get it to fall. That would have been big for Nebraska.
Nebraska's kind of hanging around here, making a nice little push. Good double team that time by Thorbjarnarson.
10 to shoot for Northwestern. Top with 4 seconds. Now 3. Greer is fouled by Thorbjarnarson at the end of the shot clock.
That's unfortunate for Nebraska. They were really having a good defensive possession that time. Hanif Cheatham was sitting in Miller Kopp's lap. And look at Mack. It's like Barron thought he was cleared. Mack was like, no, sir. I might be shorter, but I got some hops.
He's a great athlete. And now a tie-up. And the jump ball is called. Possession arrow will send it the other way. So after all that, Nebraska gets the ball back anyway.
Chris Collins telling A.J. Turner to call a timeout in that scenario. There was a little delay in the jump ball call. Chris Collins thought they could have retained possession.
Neither team has scored in the last 2.5 minutes. In the corner, easily. Can't dial through that 3. Second chance, no. And it comes out to Greer.
Young did an outstanding job that time, contesting the shot and not fouling.
Here's Kopp from the baseline. Good. Miller Kopp with 13.
But Miller Kopp has turned himself into a player. I remember last year you'd see glimpses of it, but the game seemed to appear to be too quick for him. But right now, the game is slowed down. He's finding his spot.
Mack finds a way inside and lays it in and a foul.
I like
Sports app. Northwestern fans of all ages enjoying what they're seeing so far today. Wildcats with a 10-point lead on Nebraska. Under 12 minutes to go in regulation here in Evanston. Cam Mack completes a 3-point play after he was fouled before the timeout. And the triple-double watch is in effect for Mack. 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. He's already got 1 triple-double this season, and he did it against Purdue.
Believe me, the bench and his teammates will let him know when he gets closer what he needs to do.
Cam, you got to grab that rebound, man. You're 1 behind.
That's right. Pete Nance upset with himself. He didn't convert, but I like that play. Get the ball in the paint and use the size advantage.
Back on the feed. Burke for 3. Too strong, and the rebound to Jones.
Right now, Northwestern needs to take a page out of Nebraska's book. As Nebraska started the second half, they got to the paint. Northwestern needs to look at something similar.
There is Turner. A wing 3 is good.
This may be the game that A.J. Turner turns his season around. Into the game shooting 16% from 3. I mean, he was struggling mightily, but he played well at Indiana and it's carried over to today.
Had 12 points on 4 of 9 shooting in that Indiana game earlier this week. And now 11 points this afternoon. And an offensive foul against Thorbjarnarson in Nebraska.
Thor and Fred Hoiberg think it's a flop. Oh, there's enough contact there. You know, Jordan, I see things in the game today, and I tell you what, if Coach Henson's health would allow, he'd be another Hall of Fame coach in his second chance coming back. The things that he taught us about the game, jump stop when you come into the paint, just different things that young players don't seem to understand today.
And now more complicated as Jones hits that bucket by the fact that there's all these judgment calls with respect to the flopping.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to get out of the game, which is probably a good thing, but it's a difficult call to make a lot of times.
I agree. But I do like the initiative because European soccer has definitely infiltrated basketball over here. Those guys look like somebody hit them over the head with a shotgun and they get right back up and run full speed.
Here's Nance. That shot off target. Northwestern's lead back to 14. Mack off on the three.
Not a good shot. 0 passes in the possession. A contested step back three. You can get that any time in the shot clock.
And Nebraska now 1 of its last 9 from the field. Turner way off on that 3 try, out of bounds.
And Chris Collins with an exacerbated look on his face telling A.J. Turner, drive the ball.
Well, later tonight, The Big Show delivers hoops highlights, post-game interviews, analysis, news, and notes from around the conference. Don't miss The Big Show tonight at 9:30 Eastern on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
That'll be DeCourcy and Refson. Sounds like a law firm.
All-star team right there.
Yes, it is.
Kavas, now Burke, stops and pops for the block, no. And Jones, that one off Nebraska and out of bounds. Thought he might be the last to touch, but went off Nebraska right at the end and on cross.
Well, Fred Hoiberg trying to find any kind of combination that can not only cut into this double-digit deficit, but give them momentum to put some pressure on Northwestern. They just haven't been able to do so.
And they're struggling to make their shots, and see 42 from Nebraska, certainly not what you'd expect with just over 8 minutes to go. Barron off on that 3.
That didn't have a chance.
Burke underneath, Kavas, and a foul call. That'll be on Jones. First against the freshman. Playing on the road in the Big Ten is tough. And I know that Wisconsin got a win earlier today at Penn State, but the record for Big Ten teams on the road so far this year, it's brutal.
It is brutal. And it was brutal 30 years ago when I was playing in the league, but it wasn't it seems a lot tougher now to get a road victory. And, you know, the recipe for a Big Ten title 30 years ago was take care of business at home, try to get half of the wins on the road. I tell you what, Michigan State appears to be the only team right now that will have a chance to win half of their road games in this league.
What makes it so difficult to win on the road in this conference?
Well, you have to be 10 points better than your opponent on the road. That's an unwritten rule because you're not going to get calls to go your way. The home team has the advantage of the energy from their crowd.
That time they get multiple chances to score but cannot, and then Nance fouls Mack. And it brings us to a timeout on the floor under 8 minutes to go. Played together and they're 500. You can see that in wins, things are going to go well. And when you're losing games, it might be completely different.
No, there's no doubt about it. And, you know, Northwestern busted out quickly offensively in the first half. Nebraska's been a little bit better here this half, but just haven't been able to close that double-digit deficit.
Yeah, you said it, because it felt like for a few moments early in the second half, like Nebraska had the window. If they were going to get on a big run to get this game close, they had it, and then Northwestern has just not let them inside at 10. Ryan Young underneath, can't finish, off the feed from Turner.
And Kavas got away with a little push on Young that time.
Now Kavas for 3. Hits it.
That's a big swing right there. Northwestern could have gone up 14 now. The lead is only 9, so it's a big play. Let's mark that on the 6:50 mark. Pay attention to that.
Here's Pat Spencer going up around Burke. No.
Great defense by Burke.
6.5 minutes. Nebraska finally within double digits.
Ross wanted that one.
Alley to shoot. Drago spinning on Young. The shot is short. Mack almost a steal, but instead it'll be a foul on Cam. Nope, let's just say it's out of bounds.
Drago, man, he had a chance right there. That was a high percentage shot. Jump hook about 5 feet away. Just didn't convert. You know, it's like running in mud if you're in Nebraska. You have these opportunities, you continue to cut the lead, and the shot is just short. You get a turnover.
Here's Miller Kopp from the wing. No, grabs his own rebound, but a foul coming before the shot. Followed his shot well. And Kavas will be called for the foul. That's his first.
Nebraska fortunate that time. That foul, because it looked like Kopp was going towards the bucket. You have to be careful handling basketball around the Nebraska guards, where they are opportunistic in those steals attempts.
Active hands for sure. Here's Barron on the drive off the glass.
Boy, he's made some big plays today for Northwestern. Thought he was off balance that time.
Cheatham driving on Barron. No. And it's going back to Northwestern. Offensive foul. That'll go on Henny Cheatham, his second.
Well, watch Barron. Looks almost like he's off balance, but he's able to get it off the glass and then puts himself in position right there. Boy, that was a tough collision.
And Robbie Barron, the freshman, with a season-high 10 points.
It's funny how that works, boy. The ball goes through the bucket and every aspect of the game improves.
Heralded recruit for Northwestern and showing what he can do. Turnover by the Wildcats.
Nebraska's got one more push in him. Cam Mack's going to get aggressive here. A.J. Turner guarding him, and he's going to try to get past him, I believe.
Kavas step back three. No. Udraogo couldn't handle it. The Wildcats can slow it down. The clock is their friend now.
I'm not picking on Kavas because I see it a lot in the game. I'd have a hard time playing in today's college game because I'd be smacking guys upside the face. I'm serious. You can't take that opportunity when you're trying to come back in a game like that. And again, I'm not trying to get on that young man in particular. I'm talking about the game in general. It's just the decision making and critical junctures of the game has been poor across the board.
Here's Spencer, no. And Thor Bjarnarsson grabs it out.
Now, to me, that was an excellent decision. He got a great look. He was right at the rim. Just didn't fall for him.
And a foul on Pat Spencer. Number 3 on the graduate senior. I think maybe, though, with Nebraska, because it's a team that has all these guys in different roles that they haven't played before, that might contribute to some of the decision-making down the stretch.
Yeah, but a step-back contested 3 early in the shot clock like that, I'm not a fan of that play.
Cam Mack hits a free throw. Wednesday on BTN, our Hoops doubleheader begins with the Hoosiers against the Scarlet Knights at the Rack. Then, Nittany Lions battle the Gophers. Big Ten Super Wednesday presented by U.S. Cellular, only on BTN and the Fox Sports app.
I tell you, man, you can just throw any of these 14 teams in into like a hopper and mix it up and just pull two teams out. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah. Play at the rack. That's a tough place to win.
Oh, I think Steve Peichel and what Rutgers has done to energize their fan base, they have some of the best fans in Big Ten.
Ryan Young, the turnaround, and puts it in with a right.
Oh, my gosh. The game is easy. Get the big fella on a mismatch and let him go to work. You know, Jordan, he's got to be tough with a name like Boo Buie. I mean, you know, it's kind of got a ring to it, but like Boo, you got to be tough with that name.
See, but if they're booing, that means good things are happening here in Evanston.
Okay. Yeah, I like the education.
You just got to flip it. At least that's what the players can all say, right? They're just yelling for boo. They're not booing my missed shot.
And if he keeps scoring the way that he did before he got hurt, they can boo or clap or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right. Here's Kopp, top of the key. Short on the triple try.
It's always tough to hit a three if you don't catch it cleanly.
And that time, Kavas caught it cleanly and buries that one. Nebraska's hanging around. They're down 9 with 3 minutes to go.
Now, here's the thing. With Nebraska, they don't play that many players, and so in this scenario, it's tough to pressure because Cam Mack, one of the leaders in the Big Ten in minutes played, you know, he's probably exhausted at this point. It's tough to try to turn it up and still have something on the offensive end. Oh, Cross doing a great job defensively there.
Out of the double. Here's Kopp on the wing. 3 will not fall at the end of the shot clock.
Get to the rim. You don't need to settle for a 3.
They will, and Cross hits it.
And that's why I'm not coaching. Nice decision by Cross right there on the 3.
Leave the floor. Neither does Hanif Cheatham.
And so right now, these guys with the heavy minutes, it's tough to pressure defensively. Deshaun Burke is out front. He's had a few coffee breaks on the bench, but not many.
And the pass inside and a foul. Reach in. They're going to get Cross for that one. 6-point game, 2:16 left.
A good decision by Northwestern that time. Young had success the last time they went to him. They called his number again. Let's see if he can convert.
Just a 68% free throw shooter. And he cannot hit. Ball is loose. Barron comes up with it. And a jump ball is called. Possession arrow will keep it with Northwestern.
That height advantage for Northwestern paid dividends in that sequence. You've got Young, you've got Barron on the floor right now. And Cross is the tallest player at 6'8" for Nebraska right now.
Yeah, Northwestern, the 8th tallest team in the country this year. That height certainly helped. 5 to shoot. Kopp open for 3. And it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Nebraska basketball. Under 2 minutes to go.
It messes up the game, I'm telling you.
They successfully get it across the floor without any time coming off the clock. Here's Cross. No on the 3. And now a foul, and it's going Northwestern's way.
Oh, wow. That's a tough call against Nebraska right there. Looked like Thor had a beat on that basketball. Little contact there going for the offensive rebound.
Thor Bjarnason picks up foul number 4. That's tough.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Nebraska there.
Brett Hoiberg looks on as Miller Kopp goes to the line now. Almost 87% on the season, but he can't hit and then grabs the rebound, and it's lost on the floor to Burke. And now a foul on Turner.
My goodness. Worst case scenario for Northwestern in that situation.
Wow. Miller Kopp, one of the best free throw shooters on this team. And can't come through with the free throw there. And now Nebraska with another opportunity here to chip away.
Now, if Nebraska get to the rim, do not shoot a 3.
Mack on the drive. Young erases. And it's saved to Turner.
Mack's got to get back into play. This game is not over yet. Pat Spencer's going to get a high sprint and roll here.
10 to shoot.
It's either Robbie Barron or Young.
Here comes Young. 3 seconds to shoot. And a bailout foul right at the end of the shot clock on Burke.
Burke was trying to get the steal, it looked like. He was trying to time the dribble for Spencer. He just got a little too handsy right there.
And now Pat Spencer to the line. Northwestern has missed its first 2 opportunities late. Can they change it here with Spencer? No! Mack banks in a 3!
Wow.
3-point game with 50.4 seconds left.
Oh, my goodness. And he'll swear tomorrow in film session that he...
Spencer all missing the front end on free throws.
Burke could be aggressive once again on Spencer, trying to go for the steal. But he's not going to. It's like Burke's going to try to force him to go left.
7 to shoot for Northwestern. Nance for 3. No! Rebound to Mack. Shot clock is off. 20 seconds left. Nebraska can tie with a 3. Here's Burke.
Oh, great defense.
And Kopp comes up with it with 11 seconds to go.
That is great defense by Spencer. There was no foul whatsoever. He read the play. He paid attention to the scouting report, and he jumped that play. Take a look. Burke is wide open. No, he's not. Watch Spencer come through and bother his shot. There is no foul on that. That is a good no call.
And an enormous play from Pat Spencer to disrupt that shot from Burke, which could have tied the game. Thorbjarnarson is now fouled out, and Miller Kopp at the line. Northwestern, amazingly, they're the second best free throw shooting team in the conference. That's why it's so surprising here, too, that they've struggled at the line. But Kopp hits both. Northwestern back up.
Round of applause to this crowd. This has been a really good turnout for Northwestern here this afternoon, and they've been vocal.
8 seconds left. Mack, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Kavas with 2, with 1. No, and the clock runs out. The Northwestern Wildcats have their first conference victory.